Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I've just done something quite foolish. Nobody in their right minds would do this. Do you want to know what I've done? I bought a very cheap VW Golf Mark 6 from 2010 with that 1.4 litre petrol TSI engine, which is famous for burning out its valves and stretching its timing chain. Oh, and it's done 128,000 miles with no recorded service history. I bought it for £900. Don't really know why at this point. I just thought it sounded too cheap. By the end of the phone call, I'd convinced myself there was some profit in it, but now I'm starting to have second thoughts. Anyway, it doesn't do well to dwell, does it? So let's move on. I've been here too many times before. I paid £900 for it, which sounds cheap, but thinking about it, the last thing you want in life is cheap. You don't want cheap. Cheap is never good. You want good value, you don't want good price. I was sitting in my car the other day at some traffic lights beside a pub, and I noticed the gutters were leaking and there was some paint flaking around the windows. Then I noticed they were advertising a pint for £2.80. And I thought, why have they done that? What are they hoping to achieve from that? That would put me right off. I just assumed that they hadn't cleaned out the lines regularly, and it's probably a bit stabby. Anyway, maybe I'm just a snob. Right then, shall we go and look at this German bucket, shall we? This German bouquet? I'll see you there. Well, we're here. I don't know what to say really. It looks like a cheap, scruffy Golf. It's on an H plate, which means it's from Hampshire originally, so it has travelled well, but then it has done 128,000 miles. So you'd expect it, wouldn't you? It's filthy. The near side front wheel arch is a bit dented. Or is it rust? Oh no, it's both. It's both. The front grill's damaged, where I suspect somebody, either the owner of this Golf, has driven into somebody with a tow bar, or somebody with a tow bar has reversed into the Golf. I only know that because I may or may not have done it myself several times. That's filthy. I mean, it looks all right, doesn't it? But what am I going to do with this? I hope I find some decent goodies in here just to balance out my cost. The supplying dealer was Colborne's GU1. That's Guildford, isn't it? Let's find out a bit more about it then. So, as always, we're going to do a vehicle history check using Car Vertical. Now, it's really easy to do. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg or the VIN. In this case, it is Hotel Yankee 10 MOV. Mike Oscar Victor. Now, in addition to telling us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it, it'll also tell us a bit more about the car. The ownership change dates, the MOT history, if it's been involved in a recorded accident, sometimes there are photographs of the damage, and also if it's been for sale at some point, sometimes there are photographs of the advert. So it's quite good in this kind of case because you can compare conditions and prices. Anyway, if you want to do one of these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, don't forget to use my promo code HIGHPEAK and you'll save yourself 10% off every single check that you do. It isn't just a one-off thing. That's HIGHPEAK. Alternatively, click the link below in the video description. Right, that was perfect timing, wasn't it? The report's ready. So, it's checked database in 35 countries, not just the UK, so we'll check this now. That is a petrol 2010 Golf. It's never been clocked, there's no outstanding finance. I'd like to think that was the case, to be honest. Although, having said that, with these kind of scrappers, sometimes you find that people take out logbook loans. They go to those kinds of loan shark people, give them the logbook, and they borrow 200 quid so they can go and put it all in a fruit machine. Maybe, I'm speculating. There's no recorded damage, and it's never been stolen. So, its last MOT was in June 23. Oh, they've done a lot of miles in this. Between June 23 and June 22, they've done 16,000 miles. I mean, it's not horrendous, is it? But it's more than you'd expect for a little petrol Golf. The current average market price for such a vehicle is £4,600. And I've paid £900 for it. It's ULEZ because it's a little 1.4 petrol. What else can we tell you about it? Let's see if there are any advisor items on the last MOT. Okay, so on the last MOT, there were 3 advisor items. Offside front shock absorber has light misting of oil. I hate that advice because usually you can just clean them off. It isn't a big deal unless it's burst. It isn't a big deal. Offside rear shock absorber has reduced damping effect. Okay, and offside rear shock absorber has light misting of oil. Right. Okay. So front shock absorbers, both, and so it wants a set of shockers. You're into a few £100s there, aren't you? Really? But that's it. That's it. I mean, the headlamps look okay, they don't need buffing. Could do with some new plates and a very, very good clean. Where's my handbrake? Oh, it's off. Let's go and have a look around it then. Oh, this might be a quick look today because it's freezing. I don't want to get out of this little cocoon of heated seats and heated steering wheels. Okay then. Oh, I'm sick of the winter. You know, I spent most of my life living in agreeable climates, and for some reason I now live here. Look at the state of this. Ah, right. I've just discovered why the rear shockers might be have a reduced damping effect. It's been towing something. That'll wear them out. Oh, look at that. Bouncy, bouncy. I don't know what that means. I know what go swimming means, but I don't know what that other thing means. It's filthy. They've been abroad in it. Maybe with the trailer tent. Twin exhaust. It's got rear parking sensors, so not a bad spec. It's got rear privacy. It is absolutely filthy. The rear discs look okay, I suppose. They might pass another MOT. We're on about 3.5 mil of tread there, and it's a Goodyear. That's a good sign. Wasn't expecting that. We've got a Goodyear on the front as well. That's on about 3 mil, 2.5, 3 mil. It's very, very dirty. Bumper's slightly out there. There we go, fix that one. Yeah, we've got a big dent here that sort of pushed the wing in, and that tyre's a bit lower than the other side, probably 2.5 mil on that one, probably where it's been going up curbs. And this one is another, right, we've got 4 Goodyears, and that again is on about 4 mil. That's pretty good. Some damage there, but I think it would buff out. It does need a very good clean, this, first and foremost. That's what we need to do. Wiper blade, is that all split? No, it's all right. Let's get inside then, shall we, folks? Central locking works. This has just never been cleaned, ever. Although the inside's not too bad. It smells a bit sweaty, like a gym changing room. It's done 128,491. It's quite clean though inside. Wasn't really expecting this. It's got a old-fashioned iPod lead there and an auxiliary jack point. We've even got that. Look at this. I get really excited when oh, that's sticky. That's gross. Usually that acts as a divider between the two cup holders. Sorry, this is really nerdy. That acts as a divider between the two cup holders, but also it's a bottle opener. Now you know, and they're always missing. It's been smoked in once or twice, and it's covered in hairs. Gross. Parking sensors. What else? Air conditioning. Oh, look at this. Right, we've got a bit of history here. My phone call, well, my description said no recorded history. Staley Bridge. That was an old MOT then. Let me try and hide people's addresses here. Supply and fit new front pads, supply and fit new full service. Don't know how you can supply and fit a new full service, but now's not the time. Right, that was done in 20. So there is some history. Here's the old Libro de Revisiones. This said no recorded history. Someone just didn't, some salesperson somewhere hasn't appraised this properly. They've seen the outside condition and thought, oh. Hey up lads, do we know an idiot that would buy this? So it's been serviced at 9/17/23 in Southampton. Told you, Hampshire plates. 28/30, this is quite good. Aircon service. 40. Right, it moved up at that point to Listers of Coventry. Ah, that's local to me. Green Lane Stockport. It's now an Audi approved used dealer. That was done at 47. Then Halfords, Stockport, 57. It's starting to go downhill now a little bit, isn't it? They haven't even got ink in the stamp. 80,000 miles, 90,000 miles. That was the aircon refresh. So 2020 at 90. Oh no, yeah. That was its last service. That's not bad, is it? Considering, bear in mind, it's all about expectations, isn't it, with this miserable job? I was told there was no recorded history, so Naturally, I expected no recorded history. So to have full history, mostly VW, up to 90, that's quite good. Are there any more receipts here then? Ah, there's another one. Supply and fit new service kit in 21. Doesn't tell me the mileage, but I can work that out off the MOT. So 21 it had another service. Wheel balancing, quick fit or somewhere, Halfords, whatever that is, MOT. This has got, as near as makes no difference, full service history. There's loads of receipts here. I might have had a result here, you know, guys. Doesn't happen very often, but I might have done. That's the last MOT then, with those advisor items. Oh no, that was last year's, that was the previous year. Right. Anyway, let's fire up this. Oh, we've got a lock and wheel nut as well. And look at this book pack. Quite often this happens at work, actually. I may as well point this out. Somebody will call me from work. Do you know if your Passat's got history? Yes, it's in the glove compartment. I've looked, it's not in there. Well, it's there. You can't really see unless you bend down. Or they have a little orange tab here and you pull down a little drawer. Anyway, talking nonsense. It's got auto lights. Storage compartment there. 4 electric windows, heated mirror. This is quite a good spec, this. 2 mirrors work, 2 rear windows work. That works, although it's a bit reluctant too. We've got very low fuel, 15 miles range. Check oil level, yeah, L1.4 petrol, one that blows up in your face. Service now, very Germanic, isn't it? With an exclamation mark. Any other lights? Should we fire it up? See how bad it is. Engine lights on. I mean, it sounds all right. Right, now all the lights have come on. Check oil level, I've got a bulb out somewhere, engine lights on. I mean, sounds all right. Right, so what else can we try? Heater works, what have I been listening to? Oh, CD. Ruddy hell, it's soft cell. But in new order. I'll tell you what, I now all of a sudden feel better about this purchase. Got all the classics, but someone's put a donk on them. What is this I'm listening to? This is Ministry of Sound 80s mix, disc 1. Sounds silly, but I now feel much better about this purchase because I'm keeping that. I can put that in there because I'm a bit tired of Billy Joel and the other discs that I've inherited, Bublé and some other garbage. Let's have a look in the boot, see if we can find disc 2. Oh, it's right, it's minging back here. It's minging. They've had dogs in here. Now, I'm a dog lover, but keep your car cleaned. It's not rocket science, is it? Nearly fell, that would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? Right, we've got a parcel shelf intact, though only one of the strings is attached, but it doesn't matter. More dog hairs, more stains. That's never been used though by the looks of it. This is, I hate to say it, half a thing really. Just needs a very good clean look at all the moss and stuff around it. Should we go and drive this then? Put the heater on full, try and warm up. Try and thaw out my freezing cold hands. Well, I've bought a Golf here with an engine light on, an oil light on, a bulb light on, a seatbelt light on, but I think I can rectify that one quite easily. I've also bought a Golf here that smells of dogs and sweat, but I have inherited a very good CD, so I mean, you can't win them all, can you? This feels all right, you know, straight away. My clutch feels all right. The steering isn't notchy. It didn't knock then when it went over that speed bump. Sounds all right considering the engine light's on. Should have brought my Carly reader, shouldn't I? Could have plugged in and seen what the fault was. Now, because it's advised on all 4 shockers, I'm expecting this to feel a little like I've got 8 psi in all the tyres. You know, very vague handling, very sort of floaty. I'll find out when I get some speed down. Well, my heater's working, I think. Come on, give me heat. Oh, I saw that C1. It was a mint little thing that. I think it done like 30,000 miles. Anyway, it does feel a bit loose actually, suspension-wise. I can understand now the advice on the shockers. Yeah, particularly when you go over a bump. Because they've been towing something back there, it has worn them out. You can feel it almost not bouncing back up as it should. I'd have to price that up. I mean, on a Golf, they can't be that expensive, can they? Well, my heater works. My hands are slowly defrosting. This isn't a bad car, really. Hate to say. I've got a multifunction steering wheel. I wonder why they described it as no history, or no recorded history. Thinking about it, my text with the description, I took a phone call, then I got a text. The text said no rec history. So I thought that meant no recorded history, but it might have meant no recent history, because it hasn't had one since 21, and we're now in 24. Maybe it meant that. Who knows? Anyway, it's driving all right, this. Pulls all right. I've just run through an amber, through a village in the wet, in a car with bad shockers, and a camera stuck to the bonnet. What are you up to on this Saturday? Is your life as exciting as mine? I think I might have half a chance with this. I mean, the engine light's on, yes, but it started fine. If there was an issue with the timing chain, it probably wouldn't have started, or would have rattled, or would be missing. And none of those things are happening. So we might be an O2 sensor or something like that, or a coil pack, or a new set of spark plugs. I think then, what should we do first? Let me give it a clean because it's disgusting. We'll clean it so that my mechanic looks on it a little bit more favourably, and then I'll run it back down there. Get them to price up some shockers. The front two might be okay. They only advise those on a slight missing of oil. It was the rear two that I'm most concerned about. That's where the movement's coming from, I think. But what do I know? I'm not Ed China, am I? Right, leave this with me for a day or two then, guys, and I'll hopefully have some good news for you. This could well be a £2.5, £3 car, this, couldn't it? Possibly. Do you think? I mean, it still looks quite modern in my mind. I could get the lads from Dents out to have a go at the wing. For a second then I thought I had no reverse gear, but we do. It's all good. Just need to make sure that engine light's nothing sinister. Right, I'll catch up with you later on then. Cheers, guys. And we're back, and as you can probably tell, I'm not in a 2009 Golf Mark 6. I'm in a 2015 Kia Soul EV. And that means I don't have good news. The Golf Mark 6 in question that I bought for just £900 has been condemned. It isn't good news. I'm afraid it could be terminal. I ran the Golf down to my mechanics. In fact, no, that's not true. First, I ran it for a mini valet because it was a bit of a state, and it cleaned up really well. So I took it to my mechanics with its bouncy shock absorbers and said, just let me know what it needs to pass a clean MOT and health check. Anyway, the list was quite extensive. So we're going to head down to my mechanics now, and I'll show you around the clean Golf and tell you why I didn't proceed with it. I hate to do this because I always feel like a bit of a cop-out, but it really isn't worth my time or money. I'd struggle to make a profit with this, and that is what I'm in business for. So move on to something else. Give me 2 minutes then, I'll go and grab the fail sheet from my mechanic, and I'll tell you exactly why I'm not bothering with it. Right, I've just had the damning report. The car's just here in the car park, so I thought we may as well go and have a look around it. It's not great though. In fairness, it's everything that I thought. There were a couple of fresh bits that I didn't know about, but I know about everything else. I've just had the realisation that there's no point really. It's a 125,000 mile Golf 1.4 petrol that I've just noticed since I've had it cleaned. Let me take another look at that. The front wing or the door, or both doors, or wing and doors, are off colour. Like a Dulux colour chart, this. Oh yeah, and the other... Yeah, no, okay, I've got no regrets now. I've just seen the other side, the other front wing, which was dented. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but yeah, that's a nail. The car's a nail, guys, so there we go. Who wants this lovely list? Right, they can't get in the bonnet for some reason. It needs a new catch. The engine management light is on. They said that they would replace the spark plugs and coil packs first because it came up with a general misfire, and then hope that that cures it, but it might not. If it doesn't, it could be chain, it could be anything else. Didn't sound great. Near side light in up. That's not a major thing, I don't think. Front brake disc worn, so they need to be replaced. Offside rear brake binding, so that's the caliper. So far then we're into a few £100 there. We could be into 350 and we're only halfway through the list. Rear brake pads low and discs, so they need replacing. Then we've got offside rear and near side rear shockers. Both need replacing. I knew that from the drive because the drive is shocking. It's all over the road. Bounces up and down all over the place. The front, she said, were okay though. They wouldn't even be advised. They're not bad. We've got a near side front tyre and offside front tyre, both worn below legal limits, so they'd have to be replaced. We're talking, what, £60 a tyre for that? The shockers. Let's have a look, actually. Mark 6 shock absorber. Yeah, you're talking £150 for a pair. Before you know it, I'm going to spend £1,000 on this car. And it isn't worth doing. Then in addition to that, we've got some bodywork issues. It needs a new front grille. So it really isn't worth the hassle. Let's go and have a look around it, actually. It's got that grille down there that needs to be replaced. That front bumper's not quite right. It did clean up all right, actually, but still. It's not worth the energy, is it? Sometimes. Got a flat tyre at the back. Got some Schultz or overspray or something all over the arches there. That's weird, isn't it? I mean, it did clean up all right. It's tidier now than it was when you first saw it. But yeah, look at the colour difference between that wing and that door. It's atrocious, isn't it? It's really bad. Inside then, it did clean up all right. Look at this. Bear in mind how filthy it was. It's not too bad. But oh, it's done 128, not 125. These were the codes then when they scanned it. So yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? Crankshaft position sensor. The joys. So that's why I've decided not to go ahead with this. What I'm going to do instead is take it back to work, do a very blunt advert, spares and repairs, project car, that sort of thing. Because it is cheap. I paid £900 for it. So for a Mark 6 Golf, it is cheap. But it's cheap for a reason. It's got issues. This car's got more issues than Britney Spears in 06. Anyway, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.